might have even been a higher finish. Obviously, we don't know how the season's going to end just yet. Had it not been for so many refereeing decisions going against them, Stevie?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's kind of tough to, if they don't make it, to use that as an excuse, because every team would give you a sob story, probably 3 or 4 games. The impressive thing about this team, and the thing I like about what De Zerbi's done, is that the emphasis is on going forward. It's not keep the ball to keep the ball's sake. You know, it's get your head up, and if there's a ball to be played forward, you play it first. You don't stay safe and keep the ball, and then, well, we'll start looking forward after about 10 passes. It's not 10 passes a goal. That's the difference with this team between Potter and De Zerbi. If the ball's on to go forward, they go forward early. And if it's not, then they keep it. Not the other way around.
Do you like Alexis McAllister because he's been linked with Liverpool and a move there?
Absolutely. Who wouldn't want a Scot in your team?
I love that he's a Scot.
I mean, you can see all, you can see all the Scottish attributes in his game. A lovely left peg, a very good heart, and he's got the pasty look as well. He's got everything. All he needs is ginger hair. Perfect.
Yeah, I'd just like the Argentine World Cup winner,
hey,
Alexis McAllister.
I'll take McAllister any day. He's a player.
How are Manchester United looking going into this game now after what happened against Sevilla? How does that affect what we're going to see this weekend in the FA Cup? I
don't think that is a United team playing with an awful lot of confidence. Not just what happened in the second leg against Sevilla, but also in the first leg. I fear just kind of given a lot of a lot of Manchester United's poor performances and people's questions being asked. I don't find United all that convincing. Yes, they're well positioned to finish at the very least in the top 4, but certainly I don't feel that they've equipped themselves that well. Big question mark, I guess, for me or for them to answer is how do you go from knocking out Barcelona to getting knocked out by Sevilla? And I think that speaks to some of their own inconsistencies. Up against a very good Brighton side who I think has an edge to them. An edge maybe because of those refereeing decisions and a season that promised so much more. You saw kind of some of that attitude coming out in De Zerbi and how he approached Delaney, given what he said about his coaching and his side. And as good a footballing team as Brighton are, they also have that edge, which I don't think you can say about United. When they needed it most in the Europa League against Sevilla, they were found lacking. So going into this one, I just see Brighton as coming into it in better form, coming into it with more to prove, and certainly better self-belief. I fear it's going to be a long evening for Manchester United.
Stuart, what do you think? How can a defeat like the one we saw in the Sanchez-Pizjuán for Manchester United affect them going into a big semi-final this weekend?
Well, it will affect them. There's no doubt about it. They're going to not be playing with confidence. Lots of players are going to be worried about how they're going to perform. The manager's going to be worried how they're going to perform. And when you've got 3 centre-halves missing, and you're probably going to have to play with Lindelof and Shaw as your centre-halves, Malacia may be at left-back and Wan-Bissaka at right-back. When you play against Brighton, because of their movement and their rotation, the defenders have to make good decisions, when to drop off, when to squeeze up, when to go with runners, when to pass on. Well, if you haven't got an experienced back line or players that aren't used to playing at centre-back, in the case of Shaw, although he's done it a few times this season, it could be a massive problem for them. Of course, Casemiro and Eriksen are still good players in that midfield area. They've still got good players up front, but it's the back 4 that are going to be really tested at the weekend.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.